Hello, how are you guys today? I'm here for another story, and we're still learning about apples for letter A. So, yesterday I sent a link to you through the app that was like a tour, a virtual field trip to an apple orchard. And today's book is another nonfiction book, and it's about apple orchards. And it's called A Day at the Apple Orchard. Have you been to an apple orchard before? I'll send Mom and Dad a link too about the apple orchards that we have kind of close, within an hour to where we live here in Bloomington. There's Curtis Orchard and Tanner's Orchard. So one is east of us and one is kind of northwest of us. So they're in opposite directions. A Day at the Apple Orchard by Megan Faulkner and photographs by Adam Kraweski. Look at these children. What are they sitting on? That's kind of an old-fashioned tractor. Actually, when I was a little girl, my dad had a tractor like that. He would let me sit up there. It's a sunny day in early fall, perfect for apple picking. Have you noticed it's feeling more like fall, the weather? It's colder in the morning. Fall is my favorite time of year. I love fall. Before we go into the orchard, we learn how apples are grown. So this lady here, she works at the orchard, and she's teaching them exactly how the apples are grown there. It has taken many months for them to grow and ripen. Just like all living things, apples need the right amount of rain and sun and light. The life of an apple begins in the spring. During the winter months, the tree doesn't grow or change. It's in dormancy. Warm weather wakes the tree up and it begins a new growth cycle. Leaves push out from tiny buds. So there's the buds on the end of the branch. The leaves push out from the buds. 5 petal blossoms grow in beautiful shades of pink or white. So those are called apple blossoms. They're the flower that grows on the apple tree first. Apple farmers set up beehives at the orchard. When a honeybee lands on an apple blossom, it sips the sweet nectar. Tiny grains of pollen stick to the bee's legs. As the bee flies from flower to flower, the pollen it carries fertilizes the blossoms. This is called pollination. As spring turns into the summer, the flower petals fall from the trees. So see, this is the apple blossoms there, and they're falling down to the ground. They fall off. On the branches, ovaries begin to grow that will become apples. All summer long, the apples get bigger and bigger. As autumn approaches, the apples start to ripen. Some turn from green to red. So look at this one. It's like stripy, isn't it? Still in the middle of changing from the green to the red. Some types of apples, like the Granny Smith, stay green. Other apples turn yellow, like the Golden Delicious. By late summer, early fall, the apples are fully ripened and it's harvest time. Boy, she's got a handful there, doesn't she? We pick up our baskets and get ready for the tractor ride. Look, they're sitting on bales of hay. They're going to go out to the orchard and the tractor's going to pull them there. The tractor takes us to the orchard. We're picking Empire apples today because those are what are ripest. Before we start, we learned the best way to pick an apple. Instead of pulling it from the tree, we have to turn the bottom to the sky and gently tug. We want to make sure that the bud's not damaged for next year. Picking time. Apples bruise easily, so we put them very gently into the basket. While we're picking, we see wire guards at the bottom of the trees. We're not the only ones who like the apples. Who else? Apple farmers have to safeguard their trees from hungry creatures like rabbits, rodents, and insects. Our baskets are full and it's time to head back up to the farm. Now we get to sample the apples, crisp and delicious. Do you like apples? I eat an apple every day. Next, we get to see how apple juice is made. It's an old-fashioned hand press. The apples are put in there and then we get to turn the crank. Cider comes out the bottom. Then we get to have a taste test. It's been so much fun learning about apples. We can't wait to come back next year. The end. Did you like that book about apple orchards? It makes me want to go to an apple orchard. I usually, my daughter and myself will go and pick some apples. And you know, at usually there they have a little store too that they sell apple products, and you can get apple cinnamon apple donuts. Oh, they're so good, so good. And apple pies, and you can pick out all different kinds of apples. So I hope maybe you will be able to go someday. If not this year, maybe next year. Okay, and we'll see you in our next video where we're learning more about how to do our apple craft for today and doing some apple math. Bye.